Okay, I am going to do a quick tutorial on how to get a perfect zipper pull every time, super easy without burning your fingers on the iron. Okay, so this is an example of one that's done. I haven't stitched around it yet, but it's all ready to go, and you can see it perfectly fits on the side of the zipper. You can actually even do them smaller than that, or you can do them larger, and you can have a smaller or larger piece of fabric too available, and you can position your whatever goes right here really easily. Okay, so here's the first step, is to cut out your piece of fabric, and this is the little scrap of fabric I'm going to use, and it's about 3 by 3, and it's bigger than I need, but I figured it'd be easier to show you. So it's at least 2 times the width of the zipper, because it has to go around the front and the back, and then it needs to be the size of the zipper pull that you want. So this is the height of the zipper pull. I'm going to center it on this latte. And then you need to have about a 1/2 inch on the bottom and a 1/2 inch on the top to be able to flip those seams over. Okay, so the first step is take your zipper and lay that out. And it's to take your piece of fabric and flip it over face down. And you're going to situate it so that it's centered on the character or area of the print that you want it to be on. Now you're not going to do it all the way to the edge like this. You can leave a little bit of gap there. And you're going to sew along this line right here. See, I've got stitch holes there because I took this apart from another piece. But you're going to sew across this line, right sides together. So top of the zipper here and fabric down here. I'm going to go do that and then show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's what that looks like. I've just done a little seam, and I've connected the zipper and the fabric right sides together. You can see it's the width of the zipper, and no more is all you need for that seam, because you just want to create a nice edge here when you fold it back over. So what it's going to be like, so you're going to fold this over. The next step is to take this, so I'm trying to do this one-handed, right sides together, and so now you gotta kind of pull the zipper out of the way, right sides together, and sew up this line between, pull the zipper out of the way, and sew between my fingers. Okay, I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what that looks like. So I've got my seam here, and then I've just sewn up, down this with right sides together. So it looks like kind of a hot mess, right? So what you're going to do is you are going to flip this back inside out. So I have one of these handy dandy tubes that I use, and I'm going to stick this inside of here, and then I have a second, well, a stick, and I'm going to use the stick to kind of guide the tube or the fabric back around the tube, and it'll turn it inside out. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. I know there's some annoying plastic at the bottom, but hopefully you can get the gist. So I'm going to stick the tube in here, and then I'm going to take this stick and use it, wow, maybe I've done this the wrong way. Stick the tube in Alright, so hopefully you can watch me do this. I'm going to stick the tube in through here and get almost to the end, and then I'm going to use the stick to sort of pinch over and guide it to turn this fabric around. Okay, so what that looks like is you got this hangy part here, and you've got your thing that you want around your zipper here, and you're going to just flip that and turn it inside like this. So you've got a little bit, and then you're going to center it on your zipper. I'll need to clip those little strings. So you're going to center it on your zipper. So you see how I did that. Now the zipper is tucked in, and zipper end is tucked inside, And this part, here's the seam we did. It doesn't have to be centered. I mean, you can make it centered, but I'm not fussy like that. And then when you turn it around, you've got this great seam right here. And I usually run an iron over this just real quick to kind of set this. And then you're going to push this. I'm going to trim this. See how far away I am from the stitching. I'm going to trim this, and probably right here will give me a good amount to sew over. And then you're going to tuck this bit inside. So tuck this inside as well before you run the iron over it. Tuck that all in, and I make it flatter than that and squarer than that, and then run the iron over it. And then all you have to do, it's all tucked in, all your ends are tucked in, you don't have any extraneous ends, and you're going to run a seam and run your sewing machine just over here and just do a square around here, and you are all done. And I found that so much easier than trying to fold over and then sew it, and then fold it over this and sew it on. It would always slip and shift, and this secures it to the zipper right where you want it, where it's most important to secure it so that it can control your print placement, and it still allows you to have all of your finished edges all tucked in, and you don't burn your fingers on the iron. So yeah, that is my zipper trick.